Alright, as I'm typing this, I'm talking through it. Well, I'm going over it from what was taken last night because it was pretty noisy, so I'm not going to record from then. See, I'm at home alone for the moment, so I'm just going to do a voiceover now. Anyway, in this short video, I'm going to explain a bit about Unreal Editor 3.0. This Unreal Editor version comes with Unreal Tournament 2004. I'm not sure about 2003. Now, I do not, okay, big N, big O, big T, pretend to be an expert. I do not think myself anything near an expert. I do not even know how to make a mover properly. I am good enough to create a video on Unreal Ed. Now let's start by opening the little bug up. Sorry for any keyboard mistakes. The batteries have been dying for the past couple of weeks. It always takes me a little while to find my Unreal Editor because it just keeps moving. And the system. And Editor. Now it can take anywhere from 10 seconds to half a minute to open. And it can take even longer if you're doing something with the computer. Now my screen dimensions when you're watching this is 1024 by 768. Now, I didn't really make it so that the Unreal Editor thing goes white, but I think it's pretty lucky that it did. Because I don't know how to make it do that, right, honestly. I don't know what I was thinking when I was typing all that. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, when I did this the first couple of thousand times, I used to have a folder full of all the files with editor in it, and then I'd go to system and replace them all, or I'd just have to install it again, and yeah, that took ages. Anyway, so you go view, and viewports, and then configure. Now this is what it looks like most of the time when you install the game. And you open Unreal Ed for the first ever time. That's what it's going to look like. And then you go, well, I like to have it either like one of these two, but for the moment, let's pick this one. Okay. Now, when you left click, you can move forwards. Come on, forwards. Forwards. No, backwards first. So backwards, and then forwards. And you can move left, and it moves your forwards and left, or you can move right, and it moves it forwards and right. And when you let go of the left click button, you'll see the thing pop up. And you can right click, which is just looking up and looking down and looking left and then looking right. And if you hold down both mouse buttons, so it can be just left mouse button and then the right mouse button, it moves. You can make it move up and then you make it move down, like up, forwards and backwards. You can move it left and move it right by the mouse left and right. You know, to do that I should have put the cube there so you can find it. And yeah, sorry about the save movie file plus control P. I was using Windows Movie Maker before, and always when I do that it screws up a bit. Okay, so the camera icon is to move the boxes around and the cameras, and the vertex editing, don't do that because it just screws up all the time. Act to rotate, okay, just watch. Okay, so now you see it with the camera icon, and that's holding down both mouse buttons, move it up and down. Now, with the vertex editing, you can see, if you click one of the corners, or all of the corners, you press and hold control, by the way, to do this. Because if you just do it without pressing control, you just move the screen. And you do control and you move that. And you can do a little dance. Okay, this one is the way I used to do it. Make it grow. That's both mouse buttons. That's the right mouse button. That's the left mouse button. And then just do it back. Because sometimes that screws up, I'll just put a new one there. Okay, back to rotate. This is the fun one. See, you can turn it around. Get all sorts of weird angles. I can never understand what those really are. Okay, now the textures are just the same thing with the T in them. I don't know what that is, or that is. Okay, so that's the cube. Now we'll subtract it, which is make the inside of a wall of a room or something. You right click on it and you can change the specifications of said cube or block. Where the hell's the mouse? I lost it. Oh yeah. Move it to the... You can drag things from one of the corner things. You press and hold control and you can move around with the left mouse button up with the top one or the front one or the side one. Now because I never can quite understand which way is which one's the breadth and which one's the width. You always make one real big or real small and you just look, because it gets pretty confusing. So you just look which side is really long, and that's the width right now. 5,000 is the breadth, and you can see because it's really long. Interesting. So now it's too high, so we'll just make it a bit smaller. Too big, so smaller. Now move it to the top one to the location, and on the front one to how high we want it to be. See how it's in the middle of both of them and it connects the two. You can use that as a sort of connector bubble. Now we're going to make a step, and then I think I'm going to show you about little icons down the bottom. Okay, these are homemade steps. Okay, so when you add it, I start looking at the outside of... The best thing I can think of is a house without a roof. You can't go inside it in the game, so there's nothing inside it there. Okay. So I'll build a second one. Now that thing down there, toggle drag grid, make sure that is always on. Select no number lesser than 2, so 2 and 1 are bad. Vertex snap and toggle rotation grid, I don't know what the hell they're for, but always I've had them on and they've never screwed up the map. I'll start doing this, I'll keep explaining. Screwing up the map during map making can look like you put the screen here and you turn around, and at certain points you can... Just had to play a start there. You can see through the wall. So what you do is you go build it, and make sure it's not too low. If it's on the ground, that's bad, because that's where your stomach spawns. So let's put it a bit up. Okay, so you build it. That's just building geometry. Build the lights. Okay, so that's how it looks with the lights always on. You put it to how it's supposed to look with the lights. It's very dark. So we find the floor. Left click around for it. Add a light. Now that's not how it does look, so you always rebuild it, because that's taken in mind that there's nothing in the way of the light. So it's going to make everything all more brighter. So you just put lights in all parts, then you build the lighting again, and it's different. You build those, yeah, blah blah blah, blah blah. So you save it. Give me a minute to think of a name. Okay, AS-something means assault map. CTF-name is a capture the flag map. DM-something is a domination, no, deathmatch map. DOM-something is a domination map. ONS-something is a onslaughter map. What other game types are there? Invasion uses deathmatch maps sometimes, every map. I don't know how to do that. FHI is in community bonus packs and all that. Is a frag house invasion type map. Now I had to cheat there because when you do these, when you make maps and you test them, it never gives you the translocator. And I'll just take a look around. Yay, made it. Now I set the translocator for Q, which means I press Q and it selects the translocator. I press Q again whilst I've got it out, and it uses the in-game camera. I've also set my middle mouse button to say goodbye everybody, toodles all, and then close the game. Now I've got to stop this here because it's already at 1.2 gigabytes after about 10 minutes worth of recording. So I'll be back in just 1 minute. If you look at the clock right now, yeah, I gotta go to the notepad. No? Yep, notepad. Oh, already on the next one. Ooh, gotta go.